Welcome to Capital Report. I'm Matt Swenson. This is State Representative Roger Reinert. Welcome, Roger.
Thanks, Matt.
It's good to have you in the studio, sir, and it's good to have all you folks tune in Duluth to hear what's happening here at the state capitol and hear what Representative Reinert is doing on your behalf. And I know that, just last year, Governor Pawlenty eliminated a long-standing tax reciprocity agreement between Minnesota and Wisconsin that helped cross-border workers.
Right. Most folks at home know this story, but a little bit of the history on this income tax reciprocity agreement had been in place since the 60s. So most adult workers, this is what they've always known. And it was meant to address the nearly 120,000 people, Minnesotans and Wisconsins, that live in one state and work in the other. And of course, the deal was canceled by Governor Pawlenty. It was an effort, it was one of his efforts to balance the budget. And two of the driving factors were, first of all, in 2010, the state of Minnesota will capture the income taxes earned in the state by Minnesotans and Wisconsinites. And there's also a delayed payment from Wisconsin coming from the 2009 reciprocity agreement. So we worked really hard once the governor made this announcement to try and not let this deal fall apart. It was sort of a try-buy project. It was bipartisan, both Democrats and Republicans. It was bicameral. There were both senators and House members, and it was by state. We had representatives from both states at the table. Unfortunately, we weren't able to change the administration's mind. It's an executive action, and they took it anyway. But we are hard at work on a solution that I think is going to be successful.
And I think it's important for folks to realize that when this reciprocity agreement was eliminated, it caused a lot of headaches for folks in Duluth and Superior, because that means that they're going to have to fill out taxes in both states if they happen to work in the other state. Absolutely.
I mean, it's not only a hassle, it's also expensive. Folks that are working in both states are now going to have to fill out tax reports for both states. If they pay someone to help them with their income taxes, they're going to pay more to do that because there are more forms, which means more money. And thirdly, for most folks, it's going to be going to mean more income taxes. So, it's a bit frustrating when we've got a governor who says I'm a no new tax guy, when in actuality, things like this do raise people's income taxes. Many of the state's decisions have raised people's property taxes. And it's also a bit frustrating when we have a tough economy. Most people are, their personal budgets are really tight. This is, kind of a money grab by the state at the expense of individuals. So, that's a big reason why we work so hard to not let this end. And of course, for us in the Northland, in Duluth and Superior, a big reason why we worked so hard on this was, we have a lot of cross-border workers. It doesn't take long for anybody from Duluth or Superior to come up with a half a dozen personal friends that live in one state and work in the other. And, any one of us drives over the bridge, often, if not daily. So where are we going with this, I think, is a question folks really want to know. We have a bill moving in both the House and the Senate. I'm the chief author in the House. We also have a bill moving in the Assembly in Wisconsin as well as the Senate in Wisconsin. And what the bill does is try to make lemonade out of lemons. So the governor canceled this deal. So we're going to try and take that opportunity and say, okay, in 2010, we're going to have a new baseline. One of the problematic parts of negotiating between the two states was, what exactly is the size and scope of this issue? How many people are working across the border? How much taxes are they paying? And the report that was being used to make that determination was almost 25 years old. So anecdotally, we know those numbers have changed. Well, here's an opportunity to take 2010 and set a new baseline and get a better handle on those numbers. We'll then take that report, so 2010 will be the new baseline year. We'll get a report in 2011. We can use that new data to put a new reciprocity agreement together, and all parties have the goal of having it reinstated for January 1st, 2012.
Well, obviously this is a complicated issue, but a very important one for folks in your community, because I know that the Twin Ports is very unique in the sense that you mentioned earlier. People and products and ideas need to move freely across the border, across that high bridge over the Duluth Harbor. It's really important for that to happen.
Well, both the Blotnick and the Barn Bridge. And, and another great example of just how connected the Twin Ports are the new Google Fiber initiative that everyone is hearing about at home. And this is an initiative to try and get Google to invest significant dollars in the Twin Ports, both Duluth and Superior, to bring internet speeds that are about 100 times faster than what people currently have at about the same price point. And you can go online to twinportsgoogle.com and sign up to vote for Duluth. You can also, if you're a Facebook user, go on and become a fan of Facebook. And I just sent out to people that subscribe to my email list a new video that was produced just today with the help of Mayor Don Ness and Senator Al Franken, which is pretty funny, but it's pretty spot on about why Duluth would be the right community for Google to highlight in this effort.
Well, great, and if you have trouble finding that website, just Google it, you know. So, but anyhow, thanks so much for coming to the studio today, Representative Reinert. Thanks for tuning in at home. We'll see you next time on Capitol Report. And